Hello, my name's Mark Ratcliffe, and I'm here for our first video podcast called Sustaining the Future. And we're going to talk about sustainability and what that means and how easy it is to do. I'm here with Lucine.
Hello.
Hello. And Lucine runs a sustainable farm that makes spectacular products like we see here in front of us. So, Lucine, tell me about you.
My story, Mark. Thank you so much for having me here and also for doing this, bringing the concept of sustainability to our community and that understanding of what it is and why it's important. That's what I do. That's my story. I founded Gayatri Wellness, which is a community organization based in the model of sustainability. Through that, I try to bring awareness in many different ways on what sustainability is. Because a lot of times we find people just don't understand what it means.
Exactly. And sustainability means so many different things to so many people. And it's something that we can all incorporate into our daily lives. And what you've done out at the farm is really amazing. And you've got quite a little project going on out there. What do you want our listeners to learn from your story?
Well, from my story, I want first and foremost for the listeners to realize that it's so important to be able to live the life that you love. If you have a vision and you believe in it and things are important to you, then you should pursue that. Because really, if you're fully vested in what you believe in, then it's going to make it all the worthwhile. So my story is that I believe in sustainability, and most importantly, my life revolves around it. Not only in the farm that I've created, in the home and where I live in northern Burnville, but also in the way that I serve the community through the different facets. I'm fully vested in sustainability, and I believe that it is our future.
Absolutely. It definitely is. We can't live without it. Where did you get the desire to create these wholesome products?
Well, we go back a little bit. When I started in the professional world, I've always been involved in nonprofit organizations, serving the community through different ways, teaching. I worked for the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore, working with volunteers and docents. I started to understand that when we come from our heart and truly serve in a way that is helping our community, helping individuals, helping organizations, it's really meaningful. So moving to Berks County in 2006, I started working at the Reading Hospital as the Assistant Director of Volunteer Services. Again, community outreach, fundraising, working with the volunteer board through different various events. Eventually, I was able to step away from that, finish my master's degree at Alvernia in leadership, and really take that leap of faith to do what I believed in, which was establishing Gayatri Wellness, again, as a community organization model of sustainability.
Mm-hmm. And the goal of Gayatri Wellness is?
To bring wellness and self-care to our community members in three different facets. One being yoga, so body, mind, and spirit, creating that balance for ourselves. Second is sustainable agriculture, which you mentioned, the farm, being able to feed our bodies and sustain our earth and our community, stimulating our local economy. And so you see this beautiful basket here, just a little demonstration of what we have through our farm stands, our community shared agriculture programs, and what we offer to our local restaurants. The third aspect is nature therapy, and that really involves bringing people into nature, whether it's through a hike, whether it's through coming out on the farm and being surrounded by nature, putting our feet in the earth, listening to the birds, feeling the wind on our face. Those three aspects really, I think, give a vehicle to our community members to be well, to be healthy, and to be happy.
Right. And you're really part of a very large community in our area that I think a lot of people don't know about. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the community, perhaps behind sustainability, is wonderfully diverse. We have our major organizations, healthcare institutions, educational institutions behind us through Alvernia. For example, the Reading Hospital supports sustainable aspects, and then even just through the community members, the farmers markets. It's very diverse, but it's subtle because, again, people just are struggling to understand what sustainability means.
Sure. And it's really such an easy concept to get your arms around. I was talking earlier about fishing, and everybody seems to have a really good understanding of fishing and sustainable fishing, meaning we don't overfish because we know we'll lose all of our fish, or there won't be fish to eat in the future, and making sure that our waters are clean so that we're eating healthy fish. And that concept in general really applies to everything, whether it's produce or keeping our waters fresh and clean, or really anything. Now, in this larger community, you're part of a CSA.
Yes, I host a CSA. So
What is a
community
CSA?
CSA is an acronym for Community Supported Agriculture. CSA program really, has been around for a long time, but we're starting to see it surface and become popular because people are starting to make decisions and realize that what they put into their body and what they purchase really does have an impact. So through the CSA Share program, we offer to our community year-round, which is a little bit different. Some are seasonal. And what's happened over this last year is that Gayatri Wellness has become a vehicle of bringing the community members together through the CSA Share. And what I mean is that we're still serving the end goal of our community members. So you could be a member, and every week you could stop by one of our multiple locations in Berks County and pick up your share, which is going to be diverse of local, seasonal, and sustainable food. But we're also seeing the community being served on the opposite end of a cooperative, a partnership through Gayatri Wellness to our local family farms that are very small, not our major conventional farms, but the really small ones that maybe our grandparents grew up on, dairies, local artisans. And when I work with them, they say, we're farmers. That's all we want to do. You do a good job at coordinating. Why don't you take what we produce out of our love and hard work and share it with the people we're doing it for? And so that's what's happened through our CSA program. So we do have a farm at Gayatri Wellness, but we also are a beautiful network of local farms, artisans, dairies, etc., through Berks County.
Sure. You have to wear so many different hats when you're a business person, and you're wearing a lot of them very well. But I know a lot of those farmers, you're right, they're like artists to some extent, that they want to produce their artwork and they don't want to worry about how are they going to sell it, how are they going to make money. And we have so many amazing farmers around here, and I'm not sure if we can call it farming, but creating the cheeses that we have and the dairy products and there's a lot of goat farms around here, so it's great that you're bringing that all together for us.
Thank you. And let's go back to the term of sustainability, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I like to take that term because it's a very long word and look at what the word means. It's the ability to sustain. People get confused because sustainability sometimes is targeted with focusing on the environment, which is very true. The environment is one of the 3 branches of sustainability that makes it important. But if we go back, it's much more than that. The ability to sustain, but also to enhance aspects of our environment, our economy, and our community. Not only to preserve what we have right now, but also to make it better for future generations.
That's great. Why is sustainable farming important to you?
Sustainable farming to me is important because it just makes sense. Sometimes people come up, like you said, you wear so many hats. Wow, you must have really studied about this. And I say, I'm not a farmer. I'm just doing what people have been doing for thousands of years. It makes sense.
Sure.
Through sustainable agriculture, we certainly maintain organic practice. We make sure that all of our plants are grown from seeds that have not been genetically modified or treated in any way. So we're supporting heirloom seeds that have been around for years and years and years. We're making sure that we maintain our soil through techniques of permaculture and no-till. We're also making sure that we use rain barrel systems to use our renewable resources so that we have plenty of water. Today, it's pouring outside, which most people would be miserable about, but I'm ecstatic because we're going to be able to fill our cisterns and our storage bins to provide that water. So when we also do our pesticide control, we make sure that it's organic. So we're not doing any harm to our plants, our earth, our environment, or animals around us. There are good bugs and there are bad bugs. So we make sure that everything is kind of in a beautiful harmony and that it all reaches itself out in the purest state possible. So when you eat the food that's grown sustainably, it's real food. It smells like food, it tastes like food, and it nourishes you like food is supposed to.
Yeah, and I'm sure any of us that have gone out to eat, and when we eat something that is really that fresh, you can really tell the difference. I mean, even if you're growing something in your backyard and picking that and making a salad out of what you've grown, it is so amazing. It's really awesome. Growing up in California, we had a lot more fresh produce at hand, and I find in this area it's a little more challenging, but it becomes much easier if you work with the CSAs or just the local farms in the area. You know, one of the challenges around here is actually getting that into our hands in an easy way, and that's something you're working on, is creating an easier outlet for people to go and pick stuff up.
Right. And, you know, just to wrap this up, food access is one of the most important things we can do. Instead of going to the markets that are already established, we take what is grown in this Berks County's agriculturally rich community and try to bring it into Reading, bring it into areas that have food deserts where individuals don't necessarily have access, so that everybody can get the food that they deserve to be eating.
Exactly. And when we come back, we're going to talk about where you can actually go to get these products and maybe some things you can do at home to live sustainable and grow sustainable yourself. Thanks. We'll be right back.